Hey, everybody, guess what? We're live. We've got a winner here with us today. It's the Bearded Baker Nashville. I saw you added the Nashville part on there. I don't know. Did you have that on before?
Yeah, I always have to specify it though, because people will reach out to the Bearded Baker for orders and then they tell me, oh, I spoke to someone in Arizona. I'm like, "No,
Oh, okay, that clears it up for me. But
yeah.
the winner of the Food Network show with Martha Stewart. So that's pretty impressive. It's the very first show because everybody's always going to remember, just like American Idol. Everybody remembers who won the first time, right?
Clarkson. Yep, I remember.
See. So now, when this show continues, they're always going to remember the first winner was the Bearded Baker. Nate with us right here talking to us. Amazing.
Here I am. They're always going to remember the guy with the soupy peach pie.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I feel like in the beginning when we were talking about the show, like there wasn't a whole lot of information out there and there wasn't a whole lot of clips for us to really see. So I felt a little bit in the dark. But now that I've seen this and you talked a little bit about the elements and stuff, I mean, it was raining. What show was that where I watched the whole series? It was pouring down rain and you literally you were cooking in the rain.
Yeah, we did. The final episode, it was on Monday, and we made a wedding cake in 4 hours in the rain. And I think the temperature was 56 degrees. It was so cold, and it was pouring down rain. And yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And so what kind of stress did that add as a baker? Because I know just inside my house, sometime when there's humidity, things don't cook well, but you were actually outside in the humidity trying to cook.
The rain wasn't too big of a deal for me because everything that I was doing, the humidity didn't matter. I wasn't doing like gum paste or anything like that. So it didn't make that much difference. It was the cold that was the problem. You'd soften butter to make icing and you'd get started with it and then all of a sudden it's hard again. So it was more the cold than the rain. But then also the previous week during the challenge, it actually rained then as well. So by this point, I was kind of used to the rain. It was just the cold, that made it a little bit more complicated.
So it says it was Bakeaway camp. Did you guys actually sleep in those tents that they showed?
Sure, we camped out. It was out in the woods.
For real? Oh my gosh. Okay, so you were out there the entire time.
Yeah, out in the woods.
That's crazy. So what tells a story like behind the scenes that we didn't get to see in the show? Something maybe interesting that you're like, man, I can't believe they cut that out.
Oh man, too many things. No, I'm just kidding. So one thing actually, so in the second episode when I made the peach pie.
Yes.
So it was between, I went from the top two on the first episode to the bottom two in the second.
Yeah, that one I was biting my nails because I'm like, is he gonna make it? I don't know.
Listen, I was biting my nails and I knew what happened. I was on the edge of my seat. But no, so anyway, one of the things that happened was, a lot of people, they said, well, how come you got to stay and Jessica left when you had the pie that wasn't even done? It was soup. And at the end of the day, I don't know the judge's reasonings. I would assume it's because there was few less mistakes, with one with the other. But anyway, one reason why my peach pie was so soupy that you didn't see was, I went through all the peaches, sliced them, peeled them, sliced them all up, was getting ready to be done. And all of a sudden I sliced my finger. So I had to get the medic. They had to bandage it up. And I had to start completely over. Those peaches I couldn't use because there might have been blood on them or something. So we had to throw them all away, start completely over from scratch. But the only peaches that were left were white peaches. And they're always a little bit harder. Yeah. And so you have to cook them longer. So I had no chance. Like there was no chance that they were going to be done. There was a few things I probably could have done a little bit better. But overall, it was cutting my hand that really pushed it over the edge for me.
Man, so did you cut it bad enough? Did you need stitches, like a stitch, or was it just okay.
No, it was just, I was peeling a peach and just peeled my finger just a little bit. It wasn't even a big deal, it was just a little nick. But, they take those things seriously because the judges have to eat it, so.
Yeah. You don't want to be the one who gave Martha a little extra, right?
Right. That's a different type of show,
Yeah, that's not the kind of show you want to be.
Yeah.
About the judges, I love Carla. I loved her reactions just overall for everybody, but I feel like she really liked your food. Like, did you get a chance to talk to her at any point during the show?
Yeah, they came around quite a bit to really mentor us and help us with things and, to talk to us one-on-one. And I always appreciated listening to her talk. I've followed her for a long time, ever since she was on Top Chef, the first time around. And I've always kind of appreciated her. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe she did have a thing for all the food I made. I don't know. I mean, I did get 2 dudes from her, and that's a pretty big deal. So that's a big compliment. But I think it was 2, maybe more. But anyway, she was a lot of fun. She is who she says she is. She was just always full of life and energy and really affirmation. She was really affirming and really encouraging. And I feel like they did Dan a little more negative. They showed him a little more negative, and that's not him. He gave good feedback and very constructive, but he was also very positive and very helpful as well. So.
Well, yeah, I have to say, just for, someone consuming and watching the show, he was very straightforward. He was not, like going to joke around or be like, oh, why'd you do that? He was very cut and dry from what we saw, which is editing,
though, he got his start from doing shows like this. Like, that's how he started, Yeah, he started in a Food Network competition show. I mean, he started his career more than that, but, he started his career at Food Network on a competition show. I don't think he won, actually, and then he came back and did another one, and he was the winner of that one. So he knows what it's like to be in our shoes, I suppose.
Maybe that's why we felt a little bit harder on you, trying to make sure that
Yeah,
I know.
For sure.
But that could possibly be a path for you. Maybe we'll see you on a show judging. I mean, is there going to be another season? Have you heard yet? Is there going to be another season?
I haven't heard. I really hope there is, though. I really liked this show. And I feel like, obviously, I'm biased because I was on it. But even if I wasn't on it, I think I still would have watched it. It was a fun show, and it was unlike anything that they have on the network. So I really liked it a lot. So I don't know. We'll see. I really hope they do another one.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. It was a little different because you're out in the elements and like all the things that came up, they didn't necessarily fix them for you. So you had to like learn how to work through those things. And then some of your other guests handled that better than others.
Yeah, no, it's true. They just made it work. We just made it work ultimately,
Yeah. So. Have you talked to anyone since the show has aired and you've been named the winner, or have you kept up with any of the other contestants since that time?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we talk regularly. Like, we became really good friends. When you go to summer camp and you make those friends and you talk for a little bit and it's like, oh, we'll be friends forever. And then you fade away.
Yeah.
No, these guys, we've become really good friends, especially Brian and Kat. They were in the finale with me. And because of what we went through, I think we bonded really well. So we actually talk pretty regularly. I actually was just texting with them a few minutes ago. So yeah, we talk pretty regularly overall, encouraging each other, sharing recipes, sharing ideas, sharing wins and successes, things like that. And they're such great people. And I'm really thankful for getting to know all of them. Absolutely.
Brian was so sentimental when he was talking about his mom. I was like, oh my gosh, just give it to him, babe, because he's so choked up about his mom. Like, oh. Well,
I'm thankful they didn't, but sure.
But I mean, I know we want you to win, but I was like, wow, I loved that. Kat, I feel like, I don't know if this is really her personality. I feel like they kind of portrayed her as like the whiny, like, I don't know.
Oh, you think? Yeah, I don't know. No, she's not like that at all. She's definitely, she knows what she likes, and she has a specific, when she gets her eyes set on something, that's what she goes for. And I actually kind of appreciate that about her, No, I don't think, I don't know. I guess I'd have to think about that a little bit, but I think, she's a super, super sweet girl, overall. And she was a tough competitor. I honestly say I was more worried about going up against her in the finale than I was Brian. Brian's a tough competitor too, but I was definitely more worried about Kat, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting at the last minute. It seemed like everybody decided to do a tent when they said add something to the top of your cake. Didn't everybody decide to do a tent?
Oh yeah, they did. You're right. Yeah, that's the other thing. I was already planning on doing a tent on top, so that wasn't a big deal to me. When he threw that out, I'm like, all right, no big deal. I'm already doing it. So what I had planned on doing, if I would have had enough time, is it was going to be a tent with little feet sticking out of the front. And then there would have been a sign on it, a little banner that said just married. So it was like a honeymoon tent. So that's what I was planning on doing. And I actually started to make the feet with the gum paste, but it just wasn't coming together. So I just scrapped it. It wasn't necessary to do it. So yeah, that's what I planned on. But yeah, you're right. We all did tents. And, at the end of the day, I was already doing it. So it wasn't a big challenge for me. And then the other challenge that he threw out, the wild ingredients. Oh, yeah. When I went back to the pantry and I saw the stuff sitting there, I'm like, this is all stuff I use on a regular basis. It was not a problem. I was like, yep, bourbon, smoked sea salt, I'm good to go. No problem.
I do feel like that last episode for you, I felt like the cards fell in place, so to speak. Like I felt like for you, that was your day to shine, so to speak. I felt like the other two struggled a little bit more, but I felt like for you, you had a plan. It all came together. I don't know. I guess that's the way competitions work, but I just felt like, well, what I could watch, it seemed more smoothly for you.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think you all, going into it, everybody had this vision in their head. Even Brian, like his cake, I really appreciated his vision actually more than myself or Kat's, because he took it a literal theme as far as a summer camp wedding. I mean, who really gets married at summer camp? I mean,
right.
But I actually kind of appreciated that, and so you think of this idea in your head, and if it's going to come to fruition or not, you have no idea. For me, I actually baked enough for 7 tiers. I planned on making a 7-tier cake.
Wow.
So you could see it a few times in the glimpses of me, but you can see all of my cake sitting there. But I was planning on making a pretty epic cake. And then I got smart and said, why am I doing this? Let's just do the 2 like everybody else and be done, So yeah, I think it did go pretty smooth for me overall. I'm used to doing cakes pretty quickly. Today I did a cake, a birthday cake for a client. I was done in 20 minutes, from stacking frosting, decorating, out the door. So I'm used to getting things done pretty quickly when it comes to cakes and still looking pretty good. So, the time limit wasn't too big of a deal for me for a cake. Now, ask me to bake a peach pie, forget about it.
We won't talk about that. I think the other interesting thing that you chose to do along the way, which was incredible, is that you offered some of your desserts each week for people who are keeping up at a local restaurant there in Nolensville. Tell us about that.
Oh man, it's been incredible. So there's a new restaurant. It hasn't been here very long. They actually started right when COVID-19 happened. That's when they opened their doors.
Oh, man.
But, it hasn't phased them. The community has rallied around them. It's called Birdie's Breakfast and Lunch. And so they're only breakfast and lunch, and you can get breakfast all day until they close at lunchtime. But yeah, so anyway, they partnered with me, and every Tuesday we picked a dessert that I made on the show, and I sold it in limited supply on that Tuesday morning. Every single time it sold out, and people were like banging down the doors. Where is that dessert? I didn't get it. And so the community here has been insanely supportive. It's been actually very overwhelming, from this community. I'll go into Birdie's and people will be sitting on the patio having dinner or lunch, and they'll say, "Hey, that's the Bearded Baker," and it's been awesome. Yeah, so Birdie's has been incredibly supportive with everything we've done, and we're going to continue to do that moving forward. We'll continue to do some desserts there with them. So.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask next. Are you going to try to offer more desserts?
Yeah.
So that's a great opportunity for you to make things up and have those available.
Yeah, it's a little busier, a little more busy, but yeah, it's been good.
What was it? You just told me how many cakes or like desserts have you made this week?
Man, including the stuff we did for Birdie's, by Sunday morning, we will have made, I want to say it's close to 200 orders we will have fulfilled. So it's been crazy. I haven't turned anybody away necessarily yet. I'm probably going to have to start. It's a little overwhelming, the amount of response we've got from the community. And I want to help everybody and make everybody happy, because cake makes people happy, brings people together.
Yeah. Absolutely. So. And who wants bragging rights saying, "Hey, I'm eating a piece of cake by the Food Network winner right here in my hand," right?
I've got messages from people that say, when I come pick up the cake, I want to pick it up from the Bearded Baker. Not his wife. I want to see him.
You're like, hey, I can't be everywhere. I mean,
Right.
I got a full-time job, by the way. We didn't talk about that last time.
Sure.
You also have a full-time job in addition
Yeah.
to this. This is like a side thing for you.
You know, this started out as just a little side hustle. It was just something fun, creative outlet. We do maybe 5 or 6 orders a week on the weekends. And, you know, I have a full-time job. I work for a bioagriculture company here in Nashville. I work from home, which helps, but this has blown up so much. And so there's no plans on quitting my job. I'm going to continue to try to make it work. My wife has been incredibly supportive this whole time. I blame all of this on her. She's the one that pushed me to do the show. So
yeah, I remember you told me that. She encouraged you like, hey, you should go check that out.
yeah. So, you know, she's been incredibly supportive. Yeah, full-time job, full-time dad, full-time husband, full-time baker. So.
And you have 2 toddlers. Just want everybody to know that. That's a handful in itself. So
it is. Yes.
That's incredible. Well, it's so great to catch up with you. So are you going to continue the desserts at Birdie's? What else is up for you? Anything else that you can tell us about?
Nothing that's on the horizon just yet. You know, I'm riding this wave right now. You know, it's a
it's
big
only been
wave.
like 4 days, right?
You know, it's I'm open to whatever comes along. A lot of people ask me, they say, if the network approached you, would you do another show? You know, I think it depends on the show. You know, I'm not sitting and holding my breath and waiting because it might not be in the cards. But for me, just doing this was a great opportunity. And if it's the only one I get to do, I'm 100% okay with that.
Yeah.
In the future, we'd like to open a storefront here in Nolensville, and maybe that'll happen sooner than later. Who knows?
There you go. You did win a prize. So prize money, right? What have you done with that? Have you decided?
You know, so we are going to finish our kitchen. So we will invest a little bit into our kitchen. We actually remodeled last year, so we'll finish it off, and then we'll invest the rest into our business.
That's a great answer. You know, they didn't show at the end of the show. You won, but did you get any extra time with Martha or anything? Like they didn't show that. No, it was
you know, I was the only contestant that made it all the way that didn't get to go to Martha's house. And you didn't see this on air, but when I went before them to judge my cake, she said that. She said, you were the only one that didn't get to come to my house. Maybe after this is all over with, we can go to my house and hang out. And I said, absolutely. Let's go have a coffee. But no, right after it was all over with, we all got whisked away to interviews and nope, didn't get to do anything else. I'm thinking about starting a viral campaign to get to go to Martha's house.
I'm telling you, you should, because I feel like that was the best part when people were like, I feel like each one of those contestants, when they came back, they were like starstruck. They were like in another realm. They were like, I just spent time with Martha.
That is true, but I will tell you, though, there is something to be said that I'm pretty proud of, the fact that I didn't get to go to Martha's and I still won the show.
There you go. See, you didn't get any extra tips or tools or anything, and you still won the show.
That's right. So
well, we're getting a lot of messages here. Everybody's so happy for you, and he's awesome. So, hey, you got lots of love here in Williamson County.
I am loving this area. Everybody has been so supportive. I feel like a celebrity. I walk into the grocery store and people say, "Can I take a selfie with you?" And I'm like, "Sure." Yeah, no, I love all the support. It's been incredibly encouraging and humbling.
Well, in case anybody needs to know, what's your website? Place your orders. Like, what's your lead time now for orders? Because I know. Let's talk about that.
I used to tell people, hey, we can turn it around in 24 to 48 hours. Now it's a little bit longer, you know, just trying to respond to messages. I'm trying to do it as fast as I can even. But yeah, just a few days notice. You can message us on Facebook at The Bearded Baker Nashville. You can also find us on Instagram at The Bearded Baker Nashville.
All right. Oh, somebody said, please keep sending desserts to Birdie. So
I absolutely will. Next week, we're going to have, I think we're going to have some sweet potato donuts.
Sweet. Oh, today's National Donut Day.
It is. Yeah.
So I didn't realize you made donuts. How do you make your donuts? Let's talk about that real quick. I'm so curious.
We actually bake our donuts. So it's a baked sweet potato donut, and it's dipped in a brown butter bourbon glaze.
Wow.
And then it's topped with a candied pecan crumble. It is amazing. It is the most softest, just delicious donut, and it's so delicious. So we're gonna do some for Birdie's on Tuesday. So they'll go live on the site on Monday on Birdie's website for you to order. They will be limited, so you have to get in and get them.
So you can reserve them on Birdie's website to pick up on Tuesday.
Yes, they are closed on Mondays. And you know what? I have to say, if you have not eaten Birdie's food, have you had Birdie's food yet, Donna?
I have not. I've been talking to Wade, and we've not had a chance to connect. I'm trying to get him to connect with me like this so we can talk about it.
Oh, you got to go try it. I suggest highly the Homer for breakfast.
Okay.
Or the hot chicken sandwich for lunch. Oh, so good.
So what's the Homer? I remember looking at the menu, but I can't recall.
The Homer is like breakfast potatoes covered in sausage gravy, topped with eggs and jalapenos and cheese, and it's delicious.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
So it's enough for you to eat one meal in one day and maybe possibly a week, but it's delicious.
I love a good biscuit, and all those other things sound amazing too. All right, so we're gonna check it out. Sweet potato donuts that are baked. I don't know if I've ever had a baked donut. Well, okay.
Oh, so good.
Where else since it is National Donut Day and you are the chef, where else would you go buy a donut if it's not yours? We understand, obviously. Yours are really good.
I'm a huge fan of $5 donuts. You can't go wrong there. But probably a much bigger fan of Donut Den. It's a really good one. But, I actually just read this morning that a new donut place opened up in Brentwood.
Yes, I went by there early this morning. They weren't supposed to be open early, but I did go by early. It's pretty cool. They're like tiny and they put all these interesting, you can like special order whatever flavors you want. Like I got some for my kids, Fruity Pebbles, cookie dough, Oreos.
That's pretty intense. I'm gonna have to go check it out. Yeah, I just saw that this morning that they're opening up, and I'm really excited. I love a good donut, especially mini donuts, because you can eat a bunch of them and just feel like you still only ate one.
Yeah. I didn't realize that they were mini like that. So yes, so you don't feel so guilty, and they put all these incredible little. You can order whatever you want. They have this whole selection. It was a little overwhelming at first, and it took me a minute to figure out what to get. But yeah,
I'm gonna have to go check that place out.
Yes, they're open, I think, 7 days a week. They typically don't open until 8 o'clock, but I was there early because I'd been out early this morning, and so they let me in.
You got the inside connection. I see.
All right. Well, it's great to catch up with you again. We've got to keep connected, and we'll check back in with you, see how things are going later. And you guys go check out. I can't wait. I'm going to try to order those sweet potato donuts.
Get in and get them. They're going to go quick.
All right. Thanks, Nick. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Donna.
Bye.
Bye-bye.